Hello and thanks for joining today. I'm joined by Beatriz Butsana-Sita, Managing Director of Global Telecom Markets for BT. So hi Beatriz, nice to see you.
Hi Christov, good to see you again.
And
congratulations, because I understand you got married
a couple
of months ago.
Yeah, thank you.
You still have a suntan.
Yes. So Beatriz, obviously the year has galloped on. We were just saying that, is it appropriate to say Happy New Year to people, even though we're into February? But if you can cast your mind back to 2013, what would you say were the key challenges and events that happened over last year?
Well, I think, 2013 in general for the wholesale sector was a good year. I can see a lot of optimism back in the industry. Obviously, there are a lot of technology trends, especially IP, or even in, around the cloud, loads of opportunities. I've spent a lot of time with our customers across the world, whether it is in Europe or in the Middle East and in Asia Pac. And I found that we had a lot of opportunities. I think that this sector, the telcos and so on, understand what's happening, the need to work more closely together. We all have less money than we used to have, so we want to share more resources. We have less capex at hand, and so definitely saw more of that last year. And for us, it has been a good year.
Good, good. And in terms of opportunities in the new year, in 2014, are there a set of key initiatives that BT is focusing on?
BT, oh, you mean the wholesale sector within BT?
Yes.
Well, I'll focus a little bit on the wholesale sector. Well, definitely, I think the investment that we started a couple of years ago on IP, with the geographical rollout of our IP nodes, has definitely been a right decision. And I think we've got to continue with that. We should, we've built a huge customer base in terms of, the carriers that are connected to our IP nodes. And I think we now have a very good basis to build on top of it. So we need to exploit that more. I think that creates a community of companies and carriers trading on the same sort of platform. So we got to carry on that one. Actually, I think we have now more than 350 customers connected to our IP nodes. So that has been really a very good investment decision. And I think now what we are going to do is how can we help those carriers offer even better services to their end customer using our technology? What are the sort of value-added services that we can offer on top of that? For example, high-definition voice, for example, video calling, but also features around interoperability, because that's still a big challenge in the world. How do we make all these networks interact and speak to each other in a flawless, awesome way, very secure as well. And that is still a big challenge that, a lot of, that we haven't cracked really yet, because we see that every day still. There is more that can be done. And you see that, if you think about that at home with devices, we still have interoperability issues. If you want to, I bought over the weekend a MacBook, and I wanted to transfer stuff from my HP laptop to the MacBook, and it's supposed to be easy and plug and play, but it is not. And we are technologists. So, well, if you take that, at a bigger level, between networks, between carriers and over-the-top players all over the world, well, I mean, the challenges are phenomenal. But with these challenges, obviously, come opportunities for companies like us, especially a company like BT that still has a lot of, that is still doing a lot of investment, that still has a huge lab with fantastic researchers. So I can only see massive opportunities for us, and we've got to grab them and then make something out of it and help our customers.
Good. And can you tell me a bit more about reselling and indirect?
Reselling and indirect is definitely a focus for us as well, for BT, for our wholesale operation. Why? Because, I mean, at the end of the day, I think we are proud to have a fantastic set of product and services, but which I think could benefit a lot of our customers, especially where we are not competing with some of our customer partners in certain markets. I'll give you, for example, I mean, we all know that we are not serving the consumer or SME space in Asia Pac. Yet we have a fantastic product set. For example, our MPLS network, that reaches 170 networks. So why could I not make that available to some of those carriers to serve their end customer? So this is something where I think there is an enormous potential for global companies like BT, where we have a global portfolio, but that we don't necessarily can give access to all, to all customers in the world. So I think for us, we are creating a plan to see what more could we do in that space. How can we make certain services and products available to those people? And I think the challenges for this will be around being having a fantastic ordering process, flawless, easy. So with self-care portal, whereby those carriers, if they have access to those products and services, can almost do it themselves, and it's an extension of their portfolio. Customer service, an enormous amount of challenges around that. The delivery process has to be awesome, otherwise they won't come back. So there is lots to be done. Also, the portfolio needs to be slightly adapted. Now, within GTM, we are looking at certain element of the portfolio that we believe we should, make available for those carriers and actually improve on it. But I think there's phenomenal opportunities, absolutely.
Good. And you spoke a few moments ago briefly about IP interoperability. Is there a roadmap in BT for that, and how is that being implemented?
Yes, I mean, we have a roadmap. I mean, I mentioned certain services like HD Voice, which is actually already available on our platform, but we are also working on transcoding, interoperable, and transcoding goes well together. The coding that is being worked by a certain platform is not always the same, so we need to be able to make the translation in between the two of them. Video calling, more to come on this one as well. And then, there are also other services that we will be making available to the carriers that are not necessarily on the GIPX platform, but that are suitable for carriers and help them also, offering more services in this IP world. But I think maybe we can talk about that a little bit later, around Wi-Fi roaming and so forth.
Mm-hmm. And with new mobile technologies, could you tell us more about, for example, 4G?
Yeah, I mean, I think 4G is a phenomenal evolution in the market. I mean, if you can see, the demand for bandwidth is just getting bigger every single day. I mean, the explosion is phenomenal. Whether it is on the fixed network, and you have seen the evolution to fiber, but also in the mobile space. I mean, people, are using their smartphone to do all sorts of things, which requires an enormous amount of bandwidth. So, a lot of the mobile carriers have invested a lot in 4G, in signaling and so on. And I feel that they are going through the same sort of challenges that we as fixed operator were going through a few years ago. Like, we saw these explosions, so we started investing into fiber, digging, and that requires a lot of capex. Well, they have done that as well. And they have bought licenses. So, I speak with a lot of mobile operators, and I feel like this is going to be a few years where it's going to be tough. Yes, there is a lot of demand for products and services over the mobile network, but how can they monetize what they are launching, and how can they get the return on those big investments fast enough? So for us, again, as fixed carriers, there is a lot. There are a lot of areas where we could help these mobile carriers exploit their IDs better, and we can do that twofold. I think one is, can we offer them proposition that can actually be monetized and can increase revenue for them? And I think yes. And one of the things that we are launching in the summer is around Wi-Fi Connect, which is a seamless roaming service for their customer, but using the Wi-Fi networks across the world. So we give a cellular experience to those carriers, but you utilize the Wi-Fi network, and therefore, actually, you will have many more people wanting to do data roaming, but the proposition to them will be much more cost efficient. So I think that's a phenomenal opportunity. And I will be in Barcelona over the next few weeks. Every single mobile operator I'm talking to want to have the contract right now. Now, I don't have it yet. I have draft contracts. The product is being launched in the summer, but the demand is phenomenal. And for me, I don't understand why someone or a company would not sign up for that one. And it's not just Wi-Fi roaming, it is seamless Wi-Fi roaming. Now, I don't think that's the moment to explain technically how it works, but please read the eZine and all the magazine, the product collateral on this one, because I think this is an extremely exciting opportunity. And I will be talking to a lot of mobile carriers about this service over the next few weeks and months. In fact, I was in Davos. I had the opportunity to go to Davos, and with Sir Michael Rigg, Gavin, Louis, and so on, the senior management in BT, and this was one of the big topics, along with cybersecurity as well. Obviously the mobile challenges, but the cybersecurity was also a hot topic.
Mm-hmm. So, in summary, then, we're February already, as we said. What would you say are the big things that you in GTM are focusing on this first part of 2014?
Well, I think in 2013, so last year we had a lot of good ideas. We submitted a lot of business case. Luckily, we got approval to all of them, so they are being developed. And for me, the past 2 years was about coming with a volume offering in IP, getting the customer onto the platform, but really it was offering a kind of a commodity service, interconnecting all these customers and offering an IP termination service. We have done that. That is parked, that is over. I think now it's the time to work with our partners and customers to give more value out of those services, and basically to give those value-added services to them so that they can provide more value to their end customer, and we can create also more margin for our business. So for me, this year is execution of a vision we had a year ago, 2 years ago, which I think is still the right one. I'm absolutely convinced about that. But it's about execution, flawless execution, making sure that everybody understands the story and understand why it's so important for them to be part of that story. And then the indirect piece, I think that's another area where I really would like to do much more progress over the next 12 months or so.
Good, good. Well, so basically any customers that want to contact you or your team, they can get the contact details through the eZine. We've also got the URL for Let's Talk GTM at the bottom of the screen. But thanks for joining me today, Beatrice. It's always a pleasure to speak to you.
Yes, and absolutely. I mean, everybody, they know that we are in Barcelona at the Mobile World Congress, the end of February. If they can't meet us there, we will be at the ITW in Chicago. This year, still in Chicago, and the many other capacity events, around the world. And then also, we travel, so let's keep talking to each other. And I look forward to meeting them all at one of these events.
Good. I'm very busy, and I like the way that you're now doing from the plane seat off rather than from the desk off to reflect the travelling that you're doing. So, thank you, Beatrice, and that's all from me. Thank you.